On behalf of authors and writers who participate in local book festivals or fairs or even community events, the one request that they have, and I have, is that when you pass by our tables, take the time to say hello and comment on our works. Now, I can tell you my experience, and I have a ton of experience, including being in charge of a book expo for many years. And I can say that when you do attend our events, make sure that you say hello. You know, not that many people don't say hello, but I'm, as someone who has gone through this as an author myself, it would be nice if you just acknowledge to say hello and kind of take a look at our book, or if we're asked to read an excerpt from the book, just ask us questions about what it's all about, and not only that, but just to find out more about our works. Act like you're interested, right? I think that would help a lot. And I'm saying all this because, I think it has to be said, especially now that we've been in a pandemic for 3 years. We're starting to get out of it now, and people are starting to go out again, which is always good. But the thing still remains, especially living here in LA, that most people really don't support authors like they should. Now, I know the LA Times Festival of Books is always a big deal, and book lovers always flock to USC every year. And that's a good thing. That is a really good thing for authors like myself who can afford the rent for the booth. It's a great experience, and I've done it twice. It's always been a great experience. But there are other events around town that need support. They need encouragement. Now, for years, I've had other book fairs, or I've been a part of other book fairs, and maybe on the panel, or maybe just there to sell books. And I find that depending on where you are, you will find support from patrons. They will come by your table and they will say hello. But for other authors, it could be a humiliating experience because you spent all that money to go to a book fair, only to find that no one came by to show up at your table and to also support you. And as an author myself, I know how that means. I mean, I can just tell you one year I was so depressed because I really felt for that weekend that I was at this one event in Exhibition Park that I just didn't sell any books. I was depressed for about a year. But I would say as it started to as that event come around, as that event started to happen the next year, I just changed my mind and decided, okay, I'm going to do a lot better with my display. I'm going to do a lot better with really just exhibiting my book and showing my book, and voila, I made over 30 sales that weekend, or really the 3 weekends that I was there, because I had a positive attitude. I wasn't going to give up. I was going to say, okay, the next time this event happens in this same place, I am going to do much better, and I'm going to really show up and show out, have my display ready, set to go, be attentive to people passing by the table, and just have a positive attitude. Just be happy. Just be glad I'm there, having the opportunity to sell my book, and just do my best. And it turned around for me that year so much. I was so happy, and that was one of the best experiences I had, because my approach was better. My approach was that I'm going to be positive no matter what. Whether it was the same result as the previous year or it will be a different result, I was determined to at least sell one book, or maybe five, but just to sell one book, and that way I could be extremely pleased with myself that I was able to have changes in my display, changes in my attitude, and that's exactly what happens. Now, after my experiences running the expo, I do felt bad for the authors who showed up and nothing happened. Again, it's not you. I want every author to do well, but I can't control what a crowd does, especially here in LA. Especially here in LA, I can't control if a crowd is going to be interested in the books. I mean, I've seen had very positive experiences at the Festival of Books that happens every year now at the campus of USC. When it was UCLA, I had very good experiences there too. But those are filled with book lovers. They'll get the word out. And let me tell you what these book lovers do. They will communicate. They will produce videos. They will let you know that they were there. And they have mailing lists. And they tell their people, hey, I'm going to be at the Festival of Books. How many of us have done the same thing as far as local book events, annual book festivals, other than the Festival of Books? How many people have that engagement with their own people, or even just send emails saying that they're going to be here, and because they love books, they're going to just share their experiences, their videos? How many of us have done that? How many of us have gone to these events and just kind of promote them, let them know the event is there? Not too many people, as I've seen in my experience or in my research. I haven't seen too many people produce a lot of videos outside of the Festival of Books. And if you want things to change, you're going to have to take the change yourself. You're going to have to let people know when this book event is happening, when it's happening, and these authors will show up, the authors that you know will show up, and just help promote the festival, help promote the event. Otherwise, that event will fade out like all the rest. And that'll be no lost opportunity, especially with authors who showed up, who spent the time and the money just to show up and be part of the event and really have their works promoted. But exposure is really the thing and the challenge that most authors have, because you're trying to expose your work to a number of people. You're trying to show your work to a great deal of people. And when people don't show up to these events, or you have a mailing list and people are not really excited, it seems like, to buy your book, then it really causes concern. So I'm just encouraging you folks out there, whichever author you like, it doesn't have to be me, but it can be anyone else, any other author, someone that you or I don't know who's written books. Please support them the best that you can. Please support them by mentioning them in your social media feeds or in your emails. Let them know that they have a book out, and support them where you can. That's another reason why I created Authors in Focus, a blog that I will gladly show you if you send me a message, and I will direct you to the blog. And I spent time interviewing authors who really don't get the exposure that they need, and I haven't erased a single entry since I started it back in 2006, I think. So all I can just tell you is that please support authors the best you can. I know exposure is very hard for authors, but please, all we're asking is that you support us and let us know that we exist, and say a kind word when you can. So on that note, I'd like to thank you for watching. Please subscribe if you have a chance. And always in closing, take care.